My name is Tracy. I stand outside my parents' house, the cool evening air hitting my face as I look back at the door I just walked through. The party inside rages on, but I'm done. Done with being the invisible one, the one always expected to help without a second thought. It all started 2 weeks ago when I received a text from my mother, Carol, at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. My sister, Amy, was turning 30, and Mom informed me that since Amy was swamped with a high-profile marketing campaign at her big, shot advertising firm, I'd be in charge of the entire party for 50 guests. I was in the middle of a crucial project for Nova Designs, a rising star in the fashion industry. I'd been glued to my 3 monitors in my small studio apartment, refining the brand's new visual identity for days. I'd been working 18-hour days, surviving on energy drinks and the thrill of creating something truly special. I texted Mom back, trying to explain my situation. But her reply came quickly: "Tracy, you work from home. You have the flexibility. Amy's career is on the line, and this is what family does." That word, flexibility, again. It was her code for your work doesn't matter as much as Amy's. This wasn't a one-time thing. At last year's family reunion, I'd cooked a feast for 30 while Amy mingled with relatives, getting praise for her latest ad campaign. At her business school graduation, I'd designed and printed all the programs, and then heard Dad, Tom, tell someone Amy planned this whole thing herself. Such a go-getter. When I mentioned I'd helped, Mom just patted my hand and said, "Well, you had the free time." I reluctantly agreed to Mom's demand. The grocery list that arrived at midnight was a nightmare, 3 pages long, with a gourmet menu for 50 and desserts that required ingredients from all over the city. On Wednesday, before I even started my workday for Nova Designs, I was driving to 5 different grocery stores. I still hadn't finalized the color scheme for the brand's new logo, and the presentation was in 2 days. Thursday morning, I was on a Zoom call with Nova Designs' executive team. Their CEO, Mr. Thompson, appeared on the screen. He was in his late 50s, with a sharp suit and an air of authority. "Ms. Tracy," he said, looking at my presentation with genuine interest, "this brand concept is outstanding. You've captured the essence of our brand perfectly. I'll be in your city this weekend for a family event. We should meet in person to discuss the contract." My heart skipped a beat. I told him about Amy's birthday party on Saturday, and he offered to meet on Sunday instead. Then he asked if I was related to Tom Tracy, my father. It turned out they were old college buddies. He said he might see me at the party. Saturday morning, I was in my parents' kitchen at 6 a.m., prepping vegetables and marinating meat. Amy strolled in at 10 a.m., looking fresh in her silk pajamas. "Morning," she said, pouring herself a cup of the coffee I'd made. Then she dropped a bombshell. "Oh, by the way, 5 of my guests are vegan. Can you whip up something without meat?" I stared at the racks of ribs I'd been slow cooking all night. "Amy, I bought all the ingredients based on the original menu," I said. But she just replied, "You're so creative. Figure it out. And can you pick up some fancy champagne on your way back?" Mom walked in a few minutes later. "You're not dressed yet. Guests will be here in a few hours," she said. "I'm cooking, Mom." "I'll change before they arrive," I replied. "Don't take too long. You know how you get sidetracked," she said as she grabbed her purse. "I'm going to help Amy get ready. And the bathrooms need a good cleaning." The cleaner canceled. By noon, I was running to the grocery store in my pajamas to get vegan ingredients. At 1:30, I was back in the kitchen, trying to cobble together a last-minute vegan dish while the main course simmered. At 2 p.m., the doorbell rang. I was up to my elbows in dough, my hair a mess, and my apron covered in flour and sauce. 50 guests were about to enter the house, and I hadn't even showered. As the party went on, I became a ghost, moving through the guests, refilling drinks and collecting plates. In the bathroom, the only place I could find a bit of privacy, I finally checked my phone. There were 6 missed calls from an unknown number. It was a voicemail from Mr. Thompson's assistant, saying that Mr. Thompson wanted to confirm our Sunday meeting to finalize a $250,000 contract for the brand development project. I went back to the kitchen, feeling invisible and used. I was arranging appetizers when an older woman, a client of Amy's, approached me. "Dear, these look wonderful. Did Amy hire a caterer?" I replied, "No, I made them all." Her eyes widened. "All of this? Are you a professional chef?" I said, "Actually, I'm a graphic designer. I'm Amy's sister." She smiled politely. "Oh, a designer. How nice. But then Mom appeared and said, Tracy does some little graphic projects from home. She's very creative, but it's not a real career like Amy's. The woman's polite smile faded, and Mom steered her away to introduce her to Amy. Just then, a familiar voice behind me said, "Those appetizers look amazing." I turned to see Mr. Thompson in his expensive suit, holding a glass of wine. He introduced himself to me again, even though we'd just been on a call. He'd seen how I was being treated, and I was mortified. He was the CEO who was about to offer me a life-changing contract, and here I was, looking like a servant at my sister's party. Before I could say much, Mom's voice rang out from the living room. "Tracy, we need more ice." I excused myself and went back to the kitchen, my hands shaking. As the evening wore on, the stress piled up. Amy came into the kitchen in a panic. "The main course? Where is it?" "Mrs. Johnson is leaving in an hour, and she's the client I'm trying to impress for my promotion," she said. I checked the timer. "It needs another 20 minutes to be perfect," I said. "Can't you just take it out now?" she pleaded. "Amy, if I do that, it'll be raw in the middle," I replied. She started to raise her voice. "You always make things so difficult. These are important people." I was at my breaking point. I said, "Do you know what I've been working on? A $250,000 contract with Nova Designs. I've been negotiating it for weeks, and it's all but signed." Amy stared at me in shock. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked. "I did tell you I was busy, but Mom said I was flexible," I said. She looked at me, really looked at me, for the first time in a long time. But then she said, "Well, can you still serve the food? I really need this party to go well for my promotion." I looked at the perfectly prepared food, at my sister, and then at myself. I thought about all the years of being the accommodating one, the one who always put others first. And I decided enough was enough. I said, "Amy, this is the last time. I've been taking care of everyone else for too long." I carved the meat, arranged it beautifully on a platter, and carried it out to the living room. People clapped, but it was for the food, not for me. After that, Mom came and asked me to go to the nearby cafe to get special coffee for a guest. I'd been working non-stop since 6 a.m., and I was exhausted. I said, "Mom, I can't do this. I've been slaving away